I just ate some oatmeal.
no.
Stuck to my teeth.
Uh-oh. We're off to a rocky start.
Yeah, it's going to sound like ASMR as I pick stuff out of my teeth, which is not what you guys came here for.
Episode 476.
Woo!
We might have had a rocky start, but that's fine. Who cares? That's like everything in 2020.
Right. Oh, it's
How do
like
you
a
feel
theme.
about the fact that the year is winding down? Does it mean anything to you?
Well, I certainly know I'm not going to be making any predictions about 2021 because let me tell you, that episode didn't age well.
It really didn't.
That is hilarious to me. People like, hey, just listen to that episode where you talk about how you're real optimistic for.
I mean, that's because we often suffer from over-optimism, but that was our greatest.
Yeah, remember when I was
mistake.
optimistic? Oh my God, that is so our theme. It's so funny.
We always think good things are ahead, and then they're not.
I mean, I will say that there are many like good things that came from this year. You have to like focus on things you can be grateful for. I can have those things, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
but the reason you have to be focused on that is because like otherwise you want to jump off a bridge.
Well, yeah, but we don't talk about that part. At least not on a fun podcast where we talk about brainy stuff and candy stuff.
I know, you're right. We'll do our best, but I do think that's funny. Like we have a few more episodes before we really have to do any kind of discussion about the new year. But I think we should start prepping now.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. I gotta mentally prep. I do like your idea of choosing a theme for the year, like a year of, and yeah. So I'm gonna try to think of what my theme will be, and maybe the next.
We'll both think of that.
Yeah.
For those of you who are interested in maybe joining our Patreon, this is a video version will be available of this episode on our Patreon.
And I'm so glad you just reminded me because I was definitely getting nervous about 2020 or 21, and I just sat here picking at my fingernail, and then I'm like biting my nails on camera, and then as soon as you said that, I was like, oh shit, you're right. Oh, glory.
You're allowed.
I gotta like sit on my hands. I know, but yeah, I'm allowed to do what I want, whatevs, but like I'd like to, not.
Yes, because I have some images that I'll pull up, and also you just get to see Sarah's reactions, which, I mean, that's money well spent, if you ask me.
There you go. Yeah,
okay.
I do give you those. Not so good for my wrinkles. Money well spent on my
I was just thinking how bad I need Botox. Look at that.
I like whatevs. I think I'm embracing it. Because here's the thing. I have not dyed my hair in now, I think, over a year. And we're just running with it. And so I'm going to like turn into a gray-haired lady soon because they're popping up.
I think that's cool. I like that approach. I'm not as self-assured, I think. So I'm not ready to go
I don't know if
natural.
it's assuredness, but as much as it is laziness.
Well,
and
yeah,
like
but
not
that's
being able to
the
get
thing.
appointments.
Your self-assurance is not enough.
That's the word I was looking for.
To like be more than your vanity or insecurity or whatever, or your laziness, whatever.
Yeah, or that.
For me, no matter how lazy I get, I still have to do all that stuff because I don't feel
you got Adam who will do it for you or somebody. I
wish he could do Botox. That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Adam, I need you to go get your RN. Become an RN.
First of all, I was surprised on the last episode that you did not bring this topic up, so that it left it for me. The mysterious monolith.
Oh, you know why? Because I know if I started to investigate, I wouldn't get much of my evening back. Yes. And I have like Christmas shopping to do. I got like
You're
work.
book solid.
I'm book solid. Until that stuff is done. So I'm so excited that you can fill me in on all the details. I mean, my instinct's always going to be alien.
Did you already see the image of it, the picture?
Yes.
Because I put one in the chat so you could see it because I'm going to pull it up on the screen so they can see it. You can't see that one, but I'll pull that up. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, so this structure that you can see on the screen if you're watching on Patreon is this mysterious, seemingly metallic, phallic structure that appeared.
Aren't they all? Like if you were to like put all structures into a category of like sexual/phallic or non-sexual/phallic. I will also say the San Onofre, what is it? It's a nuclear like power plant that's in San Clemente, California. Looks like two boobs. That also gets put in the category of sexual. But most of them would fall into that category.
True. Well, this is no exception. And it has appeared as if from nowhere in the Utah desert, in a very remote part of whatever desert. They are kind of being mysterious about where it is exactly because they don't want people coming.
Mystery.
But, like, if you search the hashtag on Instagram, there are people that have gone there, and they'll give you the coordinates of, like, where you got to go. So it's not, like, that big of a mystery. Yeah. Okay. So the first time I read about it, it was just the park rangers or whoever discovered it and were like, question mark. And people were speculating whether it was this artist named McCracken because he has other works that are similar. But he's dead, so it's like if he did it, he can't say yes or no anyway. And I think he died in 2011. And the people that are looking like on Google Earth, they're looking over time, and they think it didn't arrive till 2016.
It's been there for a minute?
I think so. But it ain't there anymore.
I know.
So somebody moved it.
I didn't know it had been there for that long. This is the weird thing. Okay, questions. Okay.
Yeah. I knew this was going to get you excited.
I know. The one in Utah looks different than the one in Romania. Don't they?
Do you think the Romanian one's just a copycat?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, after I read that article, then I read the article about how this one disappeared.
This looks, they look very different. Did the other one got dismantled and taken away, right?
Romanian?
No. The one in, what happened to the one in Utah?
They don't know. Well, at least nobody's saying.
How long after? Oh, mysteries.
Okay, so you think this was an alien?
No, I don't know. I need a close up because here's the thing. I just saw an image of the metal one that's that they had in Romania that then disappeared, and it looked like you could see the swirls of a grinder, like an electric sander or something that would polish it real smooth. Mm-hmm. It did not look like that on the one in Utah.
Yeah, and the one guy that went to it said on Instagram that it was hollow. Like if you knocked on it, he said it sounded like a cardboard box. It was because I imagined it was going to be like this really heavy, solid thing, but it isn't, or it wasn't.
Who were the people that found it? These guys, right? These dudes?
They just, like, work for the land management.
Oh, they do?
They saw it from the air.
Oh.
And
this wasn't like some guys came across it and, like... No, okay, no funny business. Wow. Okay, so then they find it, discover it, then what happens?
Then I thought that this one was the one that then was gone. And the way that the land management people said it to me sounded like maybe they had done it because they were just like, it's not there anymore. But I don't know who took it or where it went.
We still don't know?
I don't, from the articles I read.
Oh, and you're very good at...
Do you think it's just an artist that's like funny and silly and does stupid things? Because you know how we feel about them.
So, because I think what matters is the timeline of how things were found out. Because if it's very convenient that it disappears right after it becomes public. Mm-hmm. But then, like,
obviously that would lead to more people attempting to do something with it, even if it wasn't the person that put it there.
What do you think it is?
I think it's some dumb artist who thinks he's really clever, and it's definitely a he. And
definitely.
Right, because you know how they do when they're trying to look for a serial killer, they do like the profiling where it's like it's a man between.
Yes.
We need to do that with this.
You're a criminal. Yes, you are definitely profiling this.
What I'm
do they call
profiling,
them? Yes.
though, that's more important is what a HelloFresh customer looks like, and that is happy.
Yes. Oh my! This is what I need. Can we please just simplify everything?
What I need.
This is the only way. I don't want to go to a grocery store.
No.
Come
I do not.
on.
No,
Okay.
my bunker's secure.
Tell the people.
And the HelloFresh
hello.
precludes you from having to go to the grocery store because they send you your meal kits directly to your door with fresh ingredients. I love their recipes. I have never been like, oh, this was a dud.
No,
Ever.
never. That's true.
I'm always like, well, this was
really
delicious. I know. It's tragic. It's easy. It's stress-free. It comes right to your door. All the ingredients you need are included. They're pre-portioned. You can get a variety of different foods, so you're not going to be like, oh, this recipe again. It's like all different foods and yummy every time. And it's sustainable. I read about also how, like, they give you exactly how much you need, so you don't have as much food waste.
Oh, my
which
gosh.
we support.
Yeah.
And it's flexible. You can change the delivery days or, like, your particular meal plan or anything like that. You can skip whenever you need to. Keep your fridge stocked, adding extra meals, whatever. And they give back. I love that, too. So let me tell you the deal, because I don't want you to miss out on this special deal. Go to HelloFresh.com/80BrainCandy and use code 80BrainCandy to get $80 off, including free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/80BrainCandy and use code 80BrainCandy to get $80 off, including free shipping.
Yeah.
That's not mysterious, but the Monolith definitely is.
Yeah. I'm thinking about food because, like, I'm staring at my empty bowl of oatmeal right here.
That was a disappointing lunch you had there. I like your bowl, though.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's black, and I just found a set of really nice, like, black dishware online, and I sent it to my brother because, like, he got a new house and blah blah. And he was like, my experience with black dishware is that it always gets scratches on it. These ones never ever. So
they were good ones.
Yeah, they're good ones. Shout out to these guys. I don't even know what it is.
Shout out to these guys.
To these bowls. I got them at Urban Outfitters. Interesting place to buy dishware, but there you go. But now I'm hungry because we were talking about HelloFresh and thinking about food and, Yeah, so I'm very curious about this Monolith. I mean, I've looked at I need to see a close-up picture. It's probably some artist, but I definitely think the one in Romania are, like, I don't know. I feel like they got too much time out there or not enough time out there. I don't know what it is because, like, every time people in Romania and, like, because that's where a lot of, or Russia, I don't know where it is, where a lot of the videos online that I see that come up in my Instagram feeds, because this is what I like looking at late at night, are nail videos, people doing, like, the manicures and, like, nails and, like, the crazy stuff. They're always from, like, Russia or Romania or... Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what you got time to spend hours on nails and then put up random artwork in the middle of nowhere that
and now
just
they're flying to Utah and dumping their crap here.
I think it's two different people.
Yeah, I do too.
It's
and
I also think
Romania. There's no explanation that I would be excited about.
Don't at me, people in Romania and Russia.
Yeah. I just think, why do I care?
It's not aliens. I don't know. I never put aliens out of the question. I feel like, did you see Obama being interviewed by Oprah?
I think it was.
I saw.
I knew that it happened, but I didn't see it.
And she asked him about aliens or UFOs or something like that, and he was like, "I can't talk about that."
No.
I was like,
he said that?
Yeah. He was like, can't discuss that.
Oh, my God. I am into it.
I know.
Well, because he knows they exist. Everyone knows secretly.
He knows.
Why
is it? Because we can't handle that yet. We can't even handle a virus, let alone outside invaders from another country.
They're probably walking the earth.
Not country, universe, space, galaxy. I don't know. Planet. Wherever people from outer space come from.
Hey, what was that? I'm changing the subject. What was that sport you thought you'd be good at?
Luging. Bobsled.
Okay.
Bobsled. Not luge. That's crazy. I'm not insane. Bobsled.
What's the difference?
The downhill luge is like when you're on that single thing that basically like a skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! And didn't one person die one year at
I'm sure.
a few years ago going around a turn at the oh God.
Okay, but
what's why did you change the subject to this?
Well, because I was going to
didn't.
talk about this woman, but what's the difference between those and skeleton?
I think that is skeleton. Oh, what's illusion? What?
They're related, right?
Yeah, they're
similar.
definitely like I think they're every decade we're just making the contraption that they fly down on smaller and smaller. They're just going to be like floating on 4 wheels in 10 years.
Well,
Luge,
there was an article about this lady who was supposed to go, or was an Olympian, or supposed to be an Olympian in skeleton, and then she had a brain injury, and it was really harrowing to read her story because basically it's absolutely not safe. Nobody should be doing it.
Nope.
And
Definitely not.
they're not going to stop because it's like so much revenue and so many people are invested in it.
Who's paying for the? Where's the revenue coming from? Is there a big audience for this?
No, I don't think there's a big audience, but any Olympic sport
Right.
generates revenue, and athletes get sponsored, whatever. I don't know. So she was just like, she fits into the category we had talked about, where it's not like she dreamed of doing skeleton her whole life. She was like another kind of athlete, and then she was recruited in England to do that because
God.
I guess she had the body type or something.
Oh, they were doing that. We read about that
Yes.
in the sports gene.
Right.
They recruited
I
a
think
teacher
she
for
was
rowing,
amongst-
and she ended up winning 5 medals.
Yes. This was like that. So she experienced like where you fly off and then you get a head injury like several times.
Okay, and also the difference between the two is that luge, you go on your back, and skeleton, you go on your stomach face first. At speeds up to 90 miles an hour.
Right.
Hell
This is what it said.
to the motherfucking no.
It says, she and her coaches appeared to have misinterpreted and ignored symptoms for years that suggested she was likely experiencing a mild brain injury nearly every time she careened headfirst down a track.
Oh, God. This should
Her
be illegal.
head shaking and bouncing as the sled zooms along at 75 miles per hour.
What?
Isn't that
It's
terrible?
Terrible.
And then it said, after a series of deaths from overdoses, suicides, and health problems among other former athletes, the International Bobsled and Skeleton Federation, the world governing body for these sports, has been grappling with mounting evidence that sliding sports pose long-term danger to brain health. They call it Sledhead.
Okay. We're not doing that. So, luckily my laziness and not going on the mountain and taking up this sport has kept my brain safe so I can do this show. That's terrifying, Suze.
Like you said, it's not like a team sport, basketball, football, something where a lot of people are involved in making money.
Why are we doing this?
Let's cancel this.
No, and also, okay, so like sports have their origin in at a certain point in time, like luge, like bobsledding and all that stuff probably wasn't that fast because we weren't able to use the modern technology and the advances that we have. We should not be doing it at that speed. It's my argument for why we shouldn't make pot stronger either, because it shouldn't be. Just keep it like mild, people. Don't go crazy. It's not supposed to be consumed at those crazy levels.
What levels?
Like, okay, so like weed now is much stronger. It's been like bred, really, like pollinated or cross-pollinated or whatever it is called, to be stronger and to have higher concentrations of the stuff of like THC and all that kind of stuff.
And you feel like it shouldn't be.
Like we shouldn't be like I think that I think we're just like keep it natural. That's like, let's just like cool it, people. Because there are more like dangerous, I don't want to say like bad things can happen and be all like, don't, whatevs. But
it's just
absolutely
not necessary.
No. And it does. I think things at that level does things to the brain. I know that it does. So don't do that shit.
Well, I mean,
and I think with bobsledding too, we shouldn't have made it go 90 miles an hour. I guarantee when that sport was in its early, infancy and in its creation, what were they topping out at? 20 miles an hour? Whatever. It basically was like the Matterhorn at Disneyland.
Right.
It wasn't supposed to be this. Now, we're just pushing it to the extreme with with what humans do and making it, and, oh, God. I just think it's important that we know the dangers, you know? If you're going to, if you're going to be flying in a squirrel suit, like jumping off those cliffs or like cliff diving, you pretty much know what you're signing up for. You're like, yeah, gravity, got it. And I could hit the bottom. You know, we've been I'm sure
you're right.
Falling out of the sky doesn't do anything much to you besides that.
Yeah, at minimum, the athletes ought to know the risks.
Yes.
Yeah,
for
I agree
sure. And then make the decision.
Well, one decision that is going to be super easy for people to make is to try Issue, which is a really cool digital service that can help you create content, especially if you're a creator, a marketer, or designer. Issue is really cool because it allows you can make flip books and really cool marketing materials, and they can even help you make animated Instagram stories and content.
Getting creative
like that.
in how you market yourself, your projects, your businesses. We got to do that in this changing business world.
Yes.
You know?
Well, and for a lot of people that can feel very overwhelming. So it's helpful to have a service that can kind of make it a little more user-friendly. So you can upload your PDFs and files and then transform them into customizable templates and things like that. And they have premium features as well that will add more customization. So let me give you the scoop on getting a deal. You can get started with Issue today for free, or if you sign up for a premium account, you will get 50% off when you go to issue.com/braincandy and use promo code braincandy. It's spelled ISSUU.com/podcast and use promo code braincandy at checkout for your free account or 50% off your premium account. That's issue.com/podcast and promo code braincandy. They're coming out with so many cool services now.
I would have loved this when I had my Etsy jewelry line.
Right.
You know?
I know.
Yeah,
You're a boss, babe.
You know. Yeah, thanks. Oh, hey. Sorry.
Oh, hey. Okay. So I saw this really cool video. I wish I could share the video that I saw, but I'll just share the image of a building in Shanghai that's 5 stories tall. And I don't know what the reason is, but they needed to move the building. And so they...
Oh, I'm going to have to look up this video.
It's on CNN. There was a time lapse of it, so it's really cool to watch. They attached, I don't know how they did it, feet to it, and it walked like a person.
Oh, I got it right here. We're going to check this out. Hell to the yes.
Oh my gosh. All these feet were somehow attached to the bottom, and then it took human strides. That's how it describes it. Human strides to move the building across town. Okay, I am looking at this time lapse. I am... Oh! Look at it go! Just all in one piece. Just walking. How? I just don't get it. It's creeping and crawling across. It looks like... You know what it looks like? When you're playing a game like Sims or something like that, which I haven't done 1 bajillion years, so maybe it's different. And you pick up a little Lego building or whatever they're called. I don't even know the words. And you just move it. Oh my gosh, it's walking. It amazes me what the Chinese people can accomplish. They're really good at being, the collective society that they are. They're very good at working together and making shit happen. That's crazy looking. And also makes sense. But how do they get it up? Well, they must have first of all, I think about how they must have had to And I can't get the pie crust out of the pie tin all the way. And come on, when I can't get the cake out of the cake tin, and they can get a freaking building off of the cement ground that they've already formed a foundation on. How do they lift it up? How? I know.
And it looks
I
like
don't
smooth
get it.
where they left it. It looks like a computer. Weird.
Do you think like they took everything out of the building?
I love it. Like, do you think they have to like empty the drawers before they move the dresser to make it lighter?
I mean, what do you think?
I don't. I feel like at that, like, what do they? Does it make that? Oh, now
because
I
like
wonder.
how they get the feet on? I don't even know how they got the feet on.
Ask the building to lift up their leg.
Right, scooch.
Just come on,
Right?
lift it up just a smidge.
Like
How?
it's not adding up for me. I'm like, I don't get it. I need more than just that video.
So first they had to like get it off the ground. Like, I want you guys to really understand what this looks like. It looks like, well, you kind of, yeah, like how you would imagine a little, like a robot would march and like different feet move at different times.
Yeah.
So they use what it looks like these little boards, and it looks like people must adjust where the boards are to make the feet flat. And I just don't understand how they got it off the ground. Because how are buildings stuck to the ground?
Wasn't there a foundation?
Usually, buildings this size are relocated using giant slide rails or flatbeds. Okay, I'm looking. But the old school's irregular
Why are
shape.
people moving buildings anyway?
This was a public school that was moved to make way for a city center, like, building or something.
That
and they
seems
needed
like...
to, and they created this. Oh my!
I think they're just showing off.
Yeah. 200 devices that moved it step by step. Really cool, Suze. I love this video. Thank you.
I mean, I think it is cool. I think it's fun to see like technological advances and stuff, but I do feel like maybe that wasn't the most efficient.
I don't know. They are saving the building, and they say that they're going to just like like right here that I'm looking at right now. It's like restoring the building, and to me it seems like they were recycling it. They're revitalizing the building instead of like demolishing it.
They could have recycled it by letting whoever needs to build there just move in, and then they can move their asses.
Yeah, maybe they needed to make like a tram or something. They couldn't have, and it's a public school, so they wanted to save the public school, and they just picked it up and shifted it over, and we're like, we're just going to put this right over here, and we don't have to build a new one.
It's amazing for sure.
It really is, but it is teamwork and we're not so good at that over here.
That's what I mean. The collective society is really good at getting shit done.
But that's one of those videos that it really is fun to see because it like makes your mind go like, what?
Yeah.
It tickles, which by the way, did I already talk to you about how I saw that video that that we talked about on the podcast, the haunting picture effect?
I saw on Instagram that you thought it was cool.
Holy crap. Ren and I could not wrap our minds around it. And he was like, no, I got to share this. This is crazy. And however, I had no idea it was going to do that. I just don't know what I imagined before. And then when I saw it and realized that the picture itself isn't moving, I didn't know. Even when you told me, it took me a while to see. What the heck? It makes me think I don't really know anything. What do I know how to do? I don't know how to move buildings. I don't know how to make paintings. I just know how to talk a lot.
Oh, my God. Let me tell you this story. I have a funny anecdote, but then also I'll tie it into a news thing.
Yes.
Okay, the first part is in this house that we're living in. It's a very old house in the woods, and naturally, there are scurriers.
Yeah. Oh,
Sarah doesn't like things that scurry.
In fact, I was coming out of my apartment today, and I saw 2 things that scurry, one alive, one dead. One gopher.
What did you see?
That's fine. A gopher, still, the one that there's like a whole bunch in our neighborhood. And then a dead mouse.
Okay. Yeah.
There's my story.
We have a lot of mice going on.
Oh, my gosh.
And so...
A mouse in the house?
Lots of them.
Mice in the house.
In like the walls, we can hear them, So we got to catch those guys. So we have to catch them, but we don't want to kill them or anything. If we can
Link,
avoid it.
We're ditching Pokemon. We ain't catching those guys anymore. I got a new thing. We're got to catch them all.
Yes.
Time to up the game. IRL.
We're trying to catch them all. So we got these humane
This is Squeakachu. It's a little mouse. We're going to catch him.
Squeakachu. Good one. Oh, my God. I'm writing that down. That's really funny.
Oh, God. The jokes write themselves. Oh.
Hold on. Okay. Well.
That might be some of my best work.
Let me just say, in addition to catching mice, Lincoln also enjoys more traditional crafts and activities. And that's why we love KiwiCo subscription boxes, which are really fun and great for the child in your life.
Or thank you, in
Child
at Heart, because I loved my universe model or galaxy model.
Yes. They send age-appropriate crafts and activities that encourage the STEM learning, which is a great complement to homeschool, which most people are doing these days, virtual school. It's fun to unbox them with your kid and see what the job, like the activity is. And they're learning, but it's like super fun and creative too. And it allows them to be innovative and creative on their own. And you can do it with them if you want. They have them for every age and all that jazz. And it's just such a nice gift. So if you're thinking like you have kids in your life and you don't know what to get them.
I love hiding, like, I do not like getting gifts that aren't learny, like, because your child is a recipient of all of these kind of gifts. But I like to hide the learning in fun.
Yeah,
this
they don't need to
checks
know.
that box. They don't know at all. They're like, I hate science. Oh, really? I love my KiwiCo box. Okay.
Joke's on you.
Joke's on you.
KiwiCo is redefining learning with hands-on projects that build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. There's something for every kid or kid at heart at KiwiCo. Get 50% off your first month plus shipping on any crate line with code BrainCandy at kiwico.com. That's 50% off your first month at KIWICO.com, promo code BrainCandy. Okay. So we needed to catch these guys, and we got the little humane traps. You put food in, they go in, but they can't get out.
Good for you.
So we caught like a gazillion, and in order for
I'm going to need an accurate number.
I think so far 5.
Okay.
5 or 6.
It's very far off from a gazillion. I was picturing 40 or 50, but 5 is too many.
Oh my God. There definitely are 40 or 50
that's what they say. Yeah, and those mice are,
It doesn't bother me, though. Like, I know it upsets you, but it doesn't really bother me.
Okay, it does upset me. I don't know.
It does upset me.
It does upset me. But I don't care about bugs, so we're fine. We're even.
In order for them to not just, like, come right back in, you have to take them at least 2 miles away.
Oh, my God. You're taking mice on road trips.
Okay, so we pack
up
the car.
Oh, my God. This is hilarious.
We catch a couple mice. We pack up as a family in the car, and we're like, let's go to the farm. So
what if... you pack them up as a family of you guys all together. I thought you were packing up the mice, and you're prepackaging them together as a family. You're like, better get along. You're essentially creating teeny tiny real world situations for all of these mice and dropping them off. You're collecting them from unfamiliar locations. They happen to come together for one, like, main event. Just like a casting call, if you will. You beckoned them in.
Oh, God.
You tempted them with things that sound really exciting. They willingly really came, and then they were like, here you go. This is your new family. Live together over there. I'm taking you way far away. Oh, my God.
We lured them with, like, treats, but they didn't know that they were going to lose everything that was near and dear to them. It's totally just like
guaranteed they don't all like each other. You just collect 5 random ones. They're like, oh, God, I'm here with Jeff. Fucking Jeff. I hate Jeff. I don't even know where my other mice friend are.
Find out what happens when people stop letting us live in their house.
When people stop being mice and start being real.
On Real World Farm. Okay, so I
can't take it.
So we drive them to the farm. And
not like the farm in quotes, like when a dog goes to the farm.
We went to
which would be
Sorgel's
nice.
Orchards, and
oh my God, you dropped. I'm dying. Why aren't we just killing them?
If we have to, we will. But like
controversial statement. Oh my God, I can't breathe. I need to like come down from what just happened right now. My pulse is up. My cheeks are hurting from laughing. Oh
well,
God,
it's
too funny.
Totally outdid my joke because I was just telling this story to tell how when we were in the car, I'm like, Adam, it just occurred to me that like we are the kind of like unwitting, like almost like villains in a Disney film about mice.
yes.
Like,
You exactly
we're
are.
the people who they never show like their heads or anything.
Just the ankles. And just like your feet, and then we know who's coming because they're teeny tiny. They're like not teeny tiny. You're huge, gigantic to them. And oh God, it's terrifying. When we went to the sequoias, and it said on the biggest tree, it said, "This is what a mouse feels like when you stand next to a person at 6 feet tall."
Oh.
And in that moment, I was like, "Holy crap! People are terrifying." So you are definitely the monster that just kidnapped 5 of these guys.
You should be like, that's why they're scurrying. Because there's a monster trying to take them to a fucking farm.
But this is like the hilarious thing is that this monster is more scared of it. It's
yeah.
If only the little mouse knew how powerful they were.
It's true. Anyway, okay.
Not yours. You're capturing but at least releasing, not murdering.
Yeah, so far. Okay,
oh my
so
God.
that...
Did you ever see Feifel Goes West and all
West?
that? What
I
if
know.
they're singing that little song together? And we
Somewhere...
I'll actually cry. I will cry. Oh, here we go. I can feel it. Here it comes.
Stop it right now.
There we go.
Beneath the pale moonlight.
Now, there you go. Fuckity fuck.
Okay,
it only
move
took
on.
about 3 notes.
It really did. My God, I didn't know you felt this way about Feifel.
That is like the song. I don't know. I used to say, oh God. Nope, can't talk about it. That's that song.
Okay.
It gets me.
Well, this leads me to
lovely.
a really cool story I read in National Geographic about how they found... I didn't even know that the Andes were this way, but I guess at certain parts of the Andes, it's inhospitable to life, and it can go like 75 degrees below zero. I didn't know that it got that cold.
I did not know. What happens at that temperature?
Like nothing. And that's why this is incredible, because they found that mice are living up there, and they cannot figure out how it's possible. Because there's no life. There's nothing for them to even eat. And they're trying to figure out, like... and so
what if they're eating each other? Just cannibal mice. They've done that. I had hamsters that ate each other.
How does your brain work?
Because it gives me references to the past of other things that could be genetically close to this animal, and how would it survive if it were on a limited food source? And my brain was like, hey, you had things that were genetically close to this that were able to survive on a limited food source when you guys went on vacation and somehow forgot to feed it, or maybe mom intentionally did that because she didn't want those rodents in the house anymore. And what was it? Romeo ate Sinbad and Hercules because we put them all in the same cage. 3 kids, 3 hamsters, 2 of them dead. So I just think it's not a very far off, like,
wow,
stretch or a leap to go, from the evidence that I have to assuming that there are cannibalistic mice living in the Andes.
You're right, but I could have thought about it for 3 months, and I never would have thought they must be eating each other.
Did you have cannibalistic guinea pigs or hamsters growing up?
Can't say that I did, Sarah.
There you go. I didn't, our mind really only gives us what we know.
Well, and they didn't offer that hypothesis in the article. They were
Tell
just
them to call
kind of stumped, and they were like, some people think maybe the wind will blow little scraps of wheat or something up there.
My explanation seems more plausible than
totally.
that one.
It really does.
Now that you say it. Mothers eat their children, little mice.
Okay, well, maybe they didn't want to make people think that, because they were saying that when the scientists go up there, the scientists can only stay for a few minutes because that's how little oxygen. What are you laughing?
Because I'm just picturing little mice with blood all around, like they're white mice in my mind, like little like lab mice, and they look up, and like the researchers like look into a little den of mice, and they look up, and it's like, and they've got like the big mouse teeth, and like blood all over, just the carcass of one of their friends. I can't take it. I'm dying. You just played with my emotions with the Fievel thing, and now I'm dead. I'm actually dead. And so is that mouse. God. Oh my God, I'm dead.
Stop.
Oh.
Okay, so the scientists can only stay up there for a few minutes because there's no oxygen. So they're like, the first guy that found one, he thought that the mouse just followed him up there, and that normally they don't live up there because they just couldn't conceive of it.
Yes.
But it turns out they actually are living up there, and they just don't know what the hell they're eating, and there you go.
And there's no other animal. That's the thing that's weird. Like, cockroaches are like, nope. Everything else, nope. Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. Sarah. She's trying to recover and be normal again.
I know, I can't. No, I'm also trying to think of if the desert falls in that same category as... Because, my mind's not giving me additional explanations. But if, of mice and their survival skills. But they do survive where it's really, really hot. But then they can do things like go underground. And so...
Yeah. Well,
there's more to this story.
If you need help surviving, and don't we all, I would recommend BetterHelp for you because it is a fantastic digital therapy service that lets you access counselors from your phone or computer or wherever, 24 hours a day. And these are, certified professional therapists, and they have professionals that specialize in all the things that ail you. If you have depression or relationship issues, anxiety, trouble sleeping, whatever you're struggling
to talk to.
We do. And BetterHelp is such a great option. And as Sarah knows, so many therapists are overbooked right now. It's very hard to find someone who has availability. And this is so convenient and affordable. And it's a great way to, if you're not used to therapy, kind of introduce yourself to the way it works.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
It is. It's a great opportunity. I would encourage you guys to try it. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you get 10% off your first month by visiting BetterHelp.com/braincandy. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/braincandy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's a mystery, and the mice are probably eating each other.
Probably. I really do want to know if they have, entertained that as a possibility.
I bet you they have, Sarah, and it's funny that they didn't include it, probably because the readers would have been like, what?
That's disgusting. Yeah.
Right, but what else could it be?
I don't know. Mysteries. Don't know about monoliths? Know about cannibal mice.
Okay, moving on. Do you want to hear about why, let's see, a New York Times article called Happiness Won't Save You? Or about a telescope in Puerto Rico that is suffering?
Oh, a sad telescope.
A sad telescope.
Or how happiness doesn't really help. Let's hear about
the feel-good stories.
Yeah, let's talk about the happiness one.
Okay, so everyone on Twitter kept recommending this article in the New York Times called Happiness Won't Save You. And I now see why. It was really insightful. And it was about, do you know the famous psychological study? It ended up being kind of debunked a little bit, but it was the one where they interviewed lottery winners and people who had experienced a tragic accident. And then they had a control group, and they were gauging how happy each of those groups were. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that one?
Not the details.
Not specifically.
Not specifically.
So I think it was in the 70s that this came out, and they were trying to determine, like, will money buy you happiness kind of thing.
Got it.
Or does a tragedy ruin everything? And even though the study was flawed, it made us rethink what can provide happiness. And in their findings, they said that money didn't buy them happiness. And one particular finding was that of all the groups, the accident victims were the likeliest to envision a happier tomorrow. Like, they were the most hopeful, which is good.
I can totally get that.
But what I didn't know about this study was that the guy that did it ended up taking his own life. And I couldn't believe that. And so it was an article
that's
about...
sad.
It's so sad. And it was really fascinating to read about how somebody who sought answers about, like, what can make you happy really never found it himself.
Well, I think that kind of points to there being a real chemical imbalance in that brain, that despite the greatest amount of efforts, in the same way you can really, really, really want your blood sugar to be at a healthy level. But if you're diabetic, you're going to need some insulin, no matter how much you want it to be. And sometimes even if you adjust for lifestyle, like, you're just lifestyle factors. And so it's like sometimes you got to be on medication. Was he on medication? Because sounds like really severe depression. I'm so sad for him.
Totally. And he took his life in 1982, so I think it was before we really had a lot of medical options.
For sure. Right. I mean,
and
what a
even
shame. Therapy and stuff. That was a long time ago in terms of, the medical or the mental health field.
It's true, though, that, so many people that study the brain and happiness even, it's elusive because what we know to be true intellectually doesn't mean we're able to apply it personally. You know what I mean? Like, you even say sometimes, like, what would maybe tell a client, it's just different when it's yourself, and you still need to exercise that muscle of, like, practicing the tips that you give to people and the advice you give to people.
100%.
Like, nobody's immune from that.
And sometimes it's easier for us to even recognize the things that are, it's like, we know what we need to work on, kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Doesn't mean we will.
No. It means, like, we know what we need to, and that's the thing that we probably get frustrated in others with the most, but we want to work on. And, like, we see in others the most, but we don't see in ourselves.
When, like, you often say, a lot of times people that even attempt to go into that field do so because they're trying to work on their own.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
100%. I'm like, I got to know how everything works. What is,
Yeah. I just wanted to recommend the article because I'm not going to go into the details of it because it's quite long, but I found it really helpful and insightful just about the way humans all experience pain and loss and grief. And to me, even though it sounds super sad, it's actually, in the end, I think you can take a lot from it and learn a lot about the human condition.
Yes.
So anyway, I just wanted to recommend that.
Yes. I love it. And it reminds me, I just was reading this today, that there is, or the other day, yes, really, but it was on how we judge we think that people who are nicer and kinder are happier, and that's incorrect. That morality is linked to happiness, and it shouldn't be. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I'm processing that.
Yes.
So kindness is not correlated with happiness.
Correct. So they in this study they read a story to participants where there was a mean character who experienced a lot of good feelings, and then there was a nice character who experienced few. And when they were asked about the happiness of each character, they rated the nice character who experienced not very many positive feelings as happier. And
why would someone be mean if they're happy, though?
Well, that's the thing that is what the problem is, that we're evolved to feel good in helping other people. And so we correlate helping other people with the feel good feeling. But that's not in actuality true. There are people who so what it is saying is that how we observe happiness and how we so, you know, I could be a sad person, but maybe I'm like a people pleaser who's out there like doing a whole bunch for other people, but then maybe like not taking care of myself, and it's not
okay. So you can be kind and unhappy, but can you be mean and be happy?
Ooh.
Why would you be mean if you're happy?
Like who's working at a soup kitchen and then is like
the opposite.
The opposite.
Like
okay.
who's yelling at like a cashier or waitress,
and then is
super happy. Maybe a lot of people.
Maybe some people.
Yes, I just pictured the person that I think is like that.
I know. Yeah,
I think we are thinking of maybe the same person.
I think so too.
That's really funny. Our puzzle pieces went in together.
Yeah, and it was like click, 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 click. I saw that moment when we had the light bulb.
If I'm happy, I'm not going to be mean to someone, but I think you're right. Some people are.
Oh,
interesting.
Almost, yeah. That needs to be.
But you have to be a real asshole,
right?
To be like happy inside and still be mean to someone.
Yes. Yeah.
Right,
so I thought that was interesting. So little reminded me of that. And,
fun fact.
But.
All right.
Yeah. So
moving on.
Anywho, but being nice to people does make you feel good. So keep doing that, people.
I'm going to show you the picture of that telescope. It's telescope 2, that picture that I'm putting up for people. This is where a cable fell, and this is in Puerto Rico, on one of those, you know, those gigantic telescopes that they look like a bowl, a big bowl outside.
Oh, yeah.
Those things. Mm-hmm. And there was just this article about how, like, it's so tragic that this cable fell and broke the whole fucking thing. Can you see the picture?
No,
do you see the damage?
Come through.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Let me see.
In fact, I had to Google all of these because none of them did.
You were like, oh my God, I probably did that thing where you think you sent it, but you didn't.
Oh, probably.
Here, I'm going to do it right now. You're like, none of these did.
Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't want to, call your attention to it. Bingo! Now I see. Oh, yeah, that was the exact picture I would like. Look at that.
Okay.
Oh, God.
And so, like, any sort of nerdy person is, like, traumatized by this.
I do feel traumatized by that.
Like, it's just a cable fell on it.
But
it was
why
a really
do I feel
heavy
so
one.
traumatized by that? It does look just like destruction.
They said they can't repair it. And
Oh,
I'm mourning this stupid telescope.
Oh, R.I.P. But you know what? Here's gonna be my positive reframe or my growth mindset here.
Okay.
Growth mindset. A lot of you know, and I feel like NASA says this, or like I don't know, this happens. Like a lot of the computer stuff and like the technology that they're using, and like that looks like it's pretty old. You know,
the telescope is from the 60s.
Okay.
But they were like real mad because the cable that broke was from the 90s and it's relatively new comparatively.
Okay.
So like,
but maybe even
cable.
like from the 90s to right now with how technology has advanced. You know how like I won't replace anything in my house. Right, until that shit is broken. Like I'm not getting a new phone until this thing does not. Okay. I should not have said that. Don't listen.
Oh my God, don't anger it.
God, it's already been acting up, so I shouldn't say that. Okay, I suppose I can't mouth acting up when we're on the radio, but that's what I was saying. In case you didn't hear. Okay, now I'm distracted because I'm freaking out about my phone listening to me. Anyways,
I get what you're saying, though.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
maybe
it's like
something
forced
better will come along.
like we're forced to kind of update it in the same way maybe we need to update some of the computers that other people like things are the computer broke and I need to fix it. You know,
last thing before we cool down or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you want
whatever.
or is it wind up?
Or cool it down.
Okay.
Whichever.
Would you rather know more about Robert Frost's A Road Less Traveled poem?
Uh-huh.
Or
my mom loves that poem. I shouldn't say that with my eyes rolled, but she would always just she loves poetry. So does Ren. I need to get into
nice.
it.
Yeah. Or pretend.
Or I'm not good at that.
No, you're not. Or do you want a guide to self-awareness?
Well,
what's your
I feel
preference?
like we've already answered the question.
The
I'll take the guide
one?
to self-awareness, please.
Okay.
Since I'm the therapist that wants to understand themselves more, and we know about that.
This was on thecut.com, and that was the title, was something like a guide to self-awareness. Mm-hmm. And it was talking about how human beings have two levels. One is where you internally know your true self, where you know who you are and sort of what makes you tick. And then separately, we have a sense for how people perceive us.
Uh-huh.
And it's two different skills, I guess. So they were talking about
they
how
sure are.
A lot of people really don't have any idea how they're perceived by others. And we have misguided ideas about how people perceive us. And so they were talking about how, for example, if they have an interaction, they did a study where they had people interact and then say whether they thought the other person liked them or all of that jazz. And it said, overall, the subjects enjoyed the interactions less when they had an accurate view of how they were perceived. So when they had a high level of self-awareness, when you sense oh, that person's not into me, it's gets you down. That ignorance really is bliss, that we're happier when we really don't have any idea what other people think
of us. So we probably, as a self-protection mechanism, don't want to know what other... It's like willful ignorance. We choose to ignore... Did you already say that word, or did that pop into my head? Oh, okay, there you go. That I feel like that is it. Maybe.
It said people tend to like individuals who have accurate self-perception. So if you knew... what people really thought of you, I would like you better. But
is that to a certain point, and then because I feel like you can't go too much into self-deprecating.
It didn't say there were limitations to it, but it said individuals tend to enjoy their own relationship with more people they believe see them in desirable ways. So we like it when other people get their own flaws and weaknesses and how they're perceived, but we really don't.
I don't want other people to catch on.
Yeah, we want to just think everyone loves me and I'm happy. So they're kind of encouraging you to accept that some people don't like you and maybe don't like certain things about you, and that's okay.
And here, it's not everybody is going to connect on every level, on everything. My mom used to always say, but it was so cute. I even use this with clients, that your friends are it's like a treasure chest. And, to have a really beautiful, rich treasure chest that looks awesome and is check this treasure out, you want it to be a variety of stuff. And so all of your friends are important, and they're all these special gemstones, but some of them are rubies and some of them are diamonds. And sometimes if you're wearing one outfit, you put on the sapphire necklace, and if you're wearing another, my mom was a wardrobe stylist, so there was a lot of fashion metaphors in our house. So
it says,
it worked.
A heavily filtered Instagram, we'd rather people see a better version of ourselves, even if that version isn't quite accurate.
Well, duh.
But self-aware people were doing things differently.
I would want people who are close to me to know the real me.
Yeah, and it gave a tip. It said self-aware people did something that the other people didn't. Here's what they did. Instead of asking why, they would ask themselves what. So what skills do I need to do to build a better future? What don't I know? Kind of just opening yourself up to improvement and feedback that might not always be pleasant.
That makes me think about that thing that we were talking about last week about the personality traits. And I think it was using, open-minded people used less verbs. and how if you switch to using more of like doing, what am I going to do?
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah. And that like is your receptiveness to new ideas and like,
because it said that why questions are emotionally charged, whereas what questions are rational and figure-focused, making it easier to approach a problem objectively. So you can learn more about yourself that way and how to become better by asking questions that are what questions rather than why questions.
What's going on here? What am I doing here? What's my role?
What can I do differently? What does this person
action
need? Yeah, action.
Yeah.
So there you go. Let's wind it down.
Not why. Oh, I love that.
Nice tip.
Yeah.
Aliens were here.
Oh my gosh. Buildings can walk.
Sarah named something a squeak-a-choo.
Okay, also, can you please use that joke with Lincoln? Because that is going to kill.
Yes.
Like, feel free to like...
I'm going to film it.
You, like, word it however you'd like. Oh, I wasn't even going to say that, but, do that too. But, like, however you'd like. Like, what kind of Pokemon? I don't know. He's gonna.
Okay, I'll work on it.
You're the comedian. This is what I do. I come with, and then you make the action happen.
We've come up with a TV show idea called Real World Farm, featuring only mice.
Only mice.
And other scariers.
Also, Susie is a cartoon villain, or in real life.
And then we realized that there are cannibal mice in the Andes.
Oh my gosh!
So good to know on that.
This was a real mouse-heavy episode. Which is a nice break. Now, it's a nice balance to my snake-heavy episode that I did a while back.
And poop.
So,
it's always good to take a poop break as well.
Yes. But we did get a shout-out from somebody who works in a, the colonoscopy center or whatever.
Somebody who works with poop was a big fan.
They are accurate and they're up to date. And so, remember how we always say, like, well, of course you remember, how we're like, dog, they must be rolling our eyes at us and being like, no, we got confirmation.
That's one subject we've really mastered, which is nice.
Mastered the poo subject of shit.
And, RIP telescope, and then
that is
ask
sad.
yourself some what questions.
Yeah, I like that. Good advice, Suze. Thanks for teaching us.
We laughed a lot. We learned a lot today.
I love it. Oh, laughed so much. Oh, my God. I got new wrinkles from it. I don't even care. It's worth it.
And Sarah cried. It was a real emotional roller coaster.
Oh, my God. Emotional roller coaster. Right. Maybe I'm the one who is, in fact, high on emotional, or what is it?
Survival Goes West. I got to promote the episode with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Don't forget to how's it go? Subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah. How's it go? Oh, my gosh.
You know why? Because my son watches so much YouTube.
I was going to say, the kids know it better than we do. Make sure to hit subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what is happening right now? I don't know how to do that.
And we'll see you next time, everybody.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Did you know that everyone has an aura? Do you know what color your aura is? Maybe you have a fiery red personality or a quiet and calm blue or green. You could be an organized and methodical yellow or an explosive purple. Come join me, Mystic Michaela, on my podcast, Know Your Aura, to find out all about how your personality can be explained in colors.